How are we doing? It has been far too long since I have talked with any of you. So much has changed, but also so much has kind of stayed the same. I think this is going to be the first upload to my channel since 2021. And if you can't tell, this is not Minnesota. Couldn't take that place anymore. Don't get me wrong, the people are great, made a lot of friends there, but the cold sucks. It really sucks. Parking bikes for 6 months out of the year is quite miserable. So almost 2 years ago, probably, oh no, I guess it's been about a year and a half. Your boy packed up shop, moved to Florida. Now around the Orlando area, so I can ride all year, even like days like today where it's a little warm. That's fine. I'll take a little bit too warm than any kind of cold at all. Oh, we're gonna be on the train. I'm just hitting every stoplight today, I guess. So why did I take such a long hiatus from content? I mean, honestly, riding in general. I had the 2020 M Package RR that I bought brand new, and I kind of got shafted on the financing on that bike. I didn't look deep enough into all the numbers, and being a 24-year-old kid, I think I was 24 at the time, I gave in to BMW's Easy Ride thing. So I'm gonna just kind of talk a little bit about that and hope that people don't make the same mistake that I did, because what they tell you at the dealer is not true. So for those that don't know what Easy Ride is, it's essentially a balloon financing system or program, whatever, where they sell it to you as, oh, you'll have a lower monthly payment by like $50, $100 a month, and then at the end of the 48 months, you'll just owe like $3,000 to $4,000. Pretty easy, you pay it off, done. Full transparency, I was paying $419 a month on the 2020. For 4 years, I did that. The end date, or I guess the end month of my Easy Ride was February of 2024. So I made the January payment, 2024, like normal, expecting the balance to come in February of like, somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. I get the statement in the mail for almost $12,000. Mind you, this is after 48 months of $420 a month. So you're talking 36 grand for a bike that MSRP was $22,500. So just beware. I feel like it's very predatory financing option towards younger people specifically, because I don't know if older people are really into that Easy Ride type thing. I feel it's geared more towards younger people with not the greatest credit, that just want the shiny new bike, and they hear the lower payments and the small balloon payment at the end, and all is good. And I fell for it, and I'm really hoping that others do not. But after getting rid of the 2020, I took probably a year and a half off. No, I guess it was longer than that. It was over 2 years off, because I just bought this. This is a 2026 M Package. I want to do a proper little walk around video on this today, if I can find a nice place to do so. A little more expensive than the last bike. The build price, I guess, on this was like $28,000. The only option it doesn't have, well, there's two. It doesn't have the carbon package, doesn't have the carbon wheels. But other than that, it's exactly how I would have ordered it, and that's kind of the only reason that I bought it. I went into a dealership, just kind of wanted to meet a sales guy and chit chat and, you know, build a little kind of a relationship before committing to 30 grand. And next thing you know, I'm leaving with a bike the next day. And the only reason that I pulled the trigger a little earlier than I would have liked to is this one was just sitting on the showroom floor, all pretty, alone, almost exactly how I would order it. The only thing I'd have added is the carbon package. I'd probably skip the carbon wheels because the 2020 had those, and they ended up cracking, both of them. And I feel they're not all that great for the street. It's more of a flex at meets. People like cream their pants over carbon wheels, I guess. So why Florida, you might ask? Well, for those that don't know, I was in the drywall trade for quite a while. I started in drywall and paint when I was 19, and for the most part, that's all I knew. I mean, I had done some other odds and ends things here and learned a little bit of most things along the way, but I mainly was drywall paint, and I was working as a project manager up in Minneapolis, and one of my best friends that I had met through motorcycles, actually, funny enough, he moved to Orlando from Minneapolis in 2023. And fast forward maybe a year or so, I was still project managing, and he had moved down here and started his own business, electrical business. And he calls me one day and says, "Hey, would you ever consider moving and coming to work? The company's growing and I could probably use another set of hands." It didn't take much convincing. You're asking me to leave the cold, awful state that is Minnesota to move to America where it's warm most of the year. You do have a little bit of cool, I guess, but so this was in probably June or July of 2024, and we were originally planning January 1st would be a great time, you know, just right after the holidays and start the year fresh. 2025, new place, new job, all the things. Like 2 weeks later, he calls me again and he's like, "Hey, so remember them bigger jobs that I was telling you about?" I said, "Yeah." One of them starts October 1st. Like, okay, so what does this mean? It says, "It looks like we're gonna potentially move your move 3 months sooner if you're up for it." And I'm like, "Absolutely." So from the time of making the decision to actually moving, it was 3 months. And here I was, down in Florida. And it has been great. I have no complaints of this place. Everybody says, "Oh, it's too hot, it's too humid, But those are the people that don't like going outside when it's 65 degrees outside, let alone 90. Is it warm here? Sure. Is it a good trade-off to not have to park your motorcycle for 6 months out of the year because it's too cold and snowy and ice all over the roads and shit? Absolutely. It's funny, I flew up to North Dakota for the holidays twice now to see family from here, and just this last Christmas, I remember it very vividly. I got on the airplane, it was 78 degrees at like 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning. I flew from Sanford to Fargo, North Dakota. When I landed, it was negative 10. What the hell are you doing, brother? It was negative 10 with like a 30-mile-an-hour wind. And I almost got back on the plane and turned around and came back to Sanford. Like, why does anyone willingly choose to live in a place where it gets that cold, where you just can't enjoy life at all? I mean, I'm sure y'all have heard the term seasonal depression. It's definitely real, and I didn't really notice it until I moved here. And all of a sudden, you know, September rolls around last year, and you know, I caught myself thinking like, oh great, you know, and gotta go out and enjoy the little bit of time left outside before it gets cold, and we're stuck in the house for the next few months. But then I caught myself, and I'm like, wait a second, I live in Florida now. It's gonna be 70 degrees in January and in February, and the sun will be shining, and it's not gonna be gross. And that was like, that's when it really hit that I don't have to deal with the seasonal depression stuff anymore, because it definitely exists. And if you haven't experienced it, you probably just haven't thought about it. But now that I bring it up, you'll probably think about it, and you'll see it's a real thing. Well, that's it for now. A little update on where I've been, what I've been doing, what I'm riding now. Feels good to be back out on the bike. Maybe making some videos again for y'all. But let me know, what have y'all been doing? What have you been up to? Where do you live? What do you ride? I want to know. Drop a comment. Let me know. Talk soon.